Hello Gemini, welcome to your August 2024 reading here on YouTube. I get the impression for a lot of you that this month is going to be about initiation. Mars and Jupiter are going to be joining up together in your sign on the 14th of August. Mars is all about courage, initiation, planning and strategy, and Jupiter is very expansive, lucky and fortunate, bringing blessings and growth to the area of your chart that it's taking place and conjoining in. So let's see what's coming through on the tarot for you now. If you need any self-confidence this month, or if you need a boost in terms of your courage and strength and physical vitality, August looks like a really good time for that. The Two of Swords. And you might be thinking, what? No, I don't know what I'm doing at the moment. I'm here in this period of indecision. Two of Swords, the Hierophant, answers are about to come through, the World card, the Two of Cups, and the Ace of Rods. Some of you are really clear and set about where you're going. The Magician in the reversal. The Magician is associated with Mercury, your ruling planet, and for the most of August, Mercury will be retrograde. And that will just suggest that your initiations this month, Queen of Cups in reversal, Seven of Swords in reversal, Three of Wands, and the Six of Cups, will just have to be carefully planned, or you're just going to have to make sure all your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted. That's it. This Mercury retrograde shouldn't really be slowing you down too much, I don't think. I think all that it will do is encourage some sort of a waiting period, and so that the gift that comes at the end of the month, the Six of Cups representing this gift, can be even better, I suppose, or enjoyed by you even more. So let's have a look then at what's coming through here as a gust of wind blows. I wonder, do I have anything that would hold down these cards? I wasn't clever enough to think about that. Okay. Well, I can sit my ass on those. All right, so in the middle of the reading we have the present energy of the Two of Swords. It seems like you're going to be breaking through this indecision pretty quickly. Some of you just have a choice to make and you're not exactly sure as to which option to go for. The choice should be clear after you hear this. The Ace of Rods coming through in your past position. There has recently been some sort of a download, a creative insight, some sort of inspiration, an offer, a proposal, a suggestion, and it's been coming through with this Ace of Rods energy in the last kind of just couple of weeks. In the last week or two, something has come up for you where it's given you pause for thought. It's made you consider that you might be able to do something else or do something new or take an action. And this is the Mars-Jupiter flare, initiation, having courage, having strength, having a bright spark around you, and also feeling like you know what you're talking about, having wisdom, expertise, and an expansive viewpoint. But for whatever reason, the Two of Swords in your present position is making me think that some of you are holding yourself back because you think you need a teacher on this. You think you need a mentor or a guru or some sort of an expert. Instead of trusting in your own inner voice, the blindfold is on. The moon is here to say, your intuition is clear. So ask yourself this, Gemini, when this idea, proposal, suggestion, or flash of insight or inspiration came up, you felt this immediate yes, or energy, or rush, or enthusiasm. So why now are you doubting yourself? Why now are you still sitting on the fence or holding yourself back from acting on this? A lot of you, I think, are waiting for some expert opinion, but to me, the answer should be clear from this Ace of Rods. It was an immediate yes, or it was an immediate excitement for you. That's your gut speaking to you. That's good instinct. The Two of Swords here, the Two of Swords with the moon here, is speaking to your intuition. So you already have a really clear gut feeling on what you should do about this. And the Hierophant, it's just like you're waiting for somebody with a key to unlock this situation for you. And I don't know if it's worth waiting for somebody else. Why not let them come in and assist you when the time is right? But why not take a certain step to get out of this sort of no man's land, essentially, and to basically, there's this phrase that's coming to my mind, and get off the pot or get off the pot, right? But this is the Hierophant coming in and saying, like, somebody is here to guide and give wisdom and help you unlock a piece of this puzzle. But a lot of this can be done with you beginning to unlock or unravel, okay? And I guess there is a lot of wisdom with the Hierophant, so maybe you're being held back because what you've been told by a expert or a professional or somebody who supposedly knows what they're talking about in relation to this doesn't 100% sit well with you. So your gut is telling you to hold back and take your time. Would it be wise at this time in your life to get a second opinion or a fresh perspective or some sort of an other perspective on this situation, Gemini? Okay. So the World card is the final card of the major arcana. So you really do know that you're reaching the end of a cycle on something, and the gifts of this haven't borne their fruit yet. Is that even an expression? I don't know. Some of you, for example, are about to graduate or in the position of graduating and are still yet to receive your certificate or go to the ceremony. For example, you know the end is near on something. You know you're reaching the finish line and you're reaching success, culmination, a pinnacle or high point, but the results or the actual reward will come at a later date, be it 6 weeks later, be it in another week or two. But the World card, for example, could be, some of you might be in your last trimester of pregnancy and you know you're almost there, but the result or the main gift of this period of your life is still yet to come. Whether it's something life-changing like a graduation or a childbirth, there is something in your world that could even just represent a small or kind of like more grounded, down-to-earth achievement, something that you've been working towards, progressing towards, and you know that it's about to be done soon and you're going to reap the rewards a little bit later down the line, or there are just going to be continuous gifts coming around this. And I feel like this is just about to kind of bear fruit, so it's kind of like getting ready and to reach ahead and kind of become very tangible and bountiful for you. Some of you are in a period of indecision around your personal relationships, feeling a little bit withdrawn, feeling kind of private, feeling like distant from a certain person that is very special to you in your world. If this reading resonates, I'm going to be pulling 10 more cards and going deeper into this reading in an extended version, which I'll link down below. So just know I'm starting with this right after I'll do the extended, and I'll link it below. It will be featured. You'll figure it out. But let's get back to this. If this is all you're feeling called to stick around for, I'm inviting you now to hit subscribe, like this video, comment, share. Anything you do would be a great support and greatly appreciated by me. But let's get back to this cup energy. So the Two of Cups and the Queen of Cups are relating now to what's going on presently in your inner world and why you have this kind of relationship. So that's interesting. One of my mourning doves that appears in this garden is here on their own, and usually there's two of them on this electricity light here, or the wires, so maybe one is yet to come. But I feel like some of you are temporarily separated or pulled apart from a very special person in your life. There's somebody that you usually feel very closely connected with. At the moment there's a distance there, or there's just a kind of waiting period or some sort of a lull at the moment. A lull, I would say that. There is like this kind of connection in your life that for whatever reason you just don't feel as attached to at the moment, or you're feeling like you feel like you want more independence or they want more independence. But basically I think it's okay. I think it's more you, Gemini, like you're okay to nurture yourself. The Queen of Cups in the reversal, this is all about filling your cup up right and maintaining self-care and making sure you're fulfilled. In the reversal, in the highest self position, there is this kind of suggestion here that that's not really being done at the moment. So could you potentially try and do something special for yourself, or look after yourself in some way that is more sustainable emotionally, that makes you feel like full of joy, that makes you feel at peace, that makes you just feel like warm and fuzzy inside, basically. There is like this warm and fuzzy end to the month of August, though, in particular. The end of the month is the Six of Cups, which suggests to me that the initiations that you take on, or whatever you have the strength to do and to master this month, you kind of really see that more so at the end of the month, probably when the retrograde is over, which I believe is like far towards the end of the month. It could even be like the 29th of August, if I remember correctly, thereabouts. But there is this kind of tone change for you where you feel like more sentimental at the end of the month, or you feel more gifted or rewarded or embraced by the end of the month. Maybe you feel more connected with friends, with this special person that you currently just have some doubt around. I think that that comes a little bit more into the fold for you towards the end of the month. But the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is about this yearning for somebody, this yearning for how things were, or to connect to somebody very special in your world. And some of you are in a partnership, be it romantic, business, or even a very important friendship or something like that, where they don't believe in the decisions you're making, and they're kind of encouraging you to seek advice outside of yourself. And what that kind of appears to be then is a reflection of the principle of trust in your relationship. You kind of have yourself asking questions like, does this person not trust me to do what's best for our family, for our finances? Does this person not trust me to do what's best for myself even? And that's kind of disheartening for you, because you are kind of, I guess, interpreting, and they could be coming from a really good place. They could be coming from a place of just concern, compassion, but you're interpreting their questioning you or their doubt about what you're doing as basically them not trusting you, them not believing in you, and them doubting you overall. So that's a little bit frustrating. This could also be going the other way, where the person that, I mean, you're doing this, you know, you're kind of like doubting the person you're with, like you're not believing that they are able to do this, and as a result there's just this now energy of distance in the relationship, perhaps even a little lack of trust or a lack of connection and overall harmony. I do see the Six of Cups, six as being a number of harmony, this emotional situation resolving by the end of the month, most likely the very end of the month of August going into September, when that retrograde has cleared up and a lot of like the very typical miscommunications we hear of coming up in Mercury retrograde periods are then moving forward or resolved. The thing about this particular Mercury retrograde for you, well, all Mercury retrogrades and all Mercury transits are most affected. You're most affected by them for one reason, because Mercury is your ruling planet. That's more so if you're a Gemini rising. It's usually your rising signs ruler that you're most affected by. But I think that it's fair to say that you're a mercurial person, more or less, and you might be affected more than others from this Mercury retrograde. It's basically the whole of the month. We've got the first couple of days of August where Mercury is slowing down to station retrograde, and the final couple of days of August where it's just about to start speeding up station direct. But more or less you're in that lull period of communication. This one in particular for you, Gemini, looks like it's to do with personal relationships, family relationships, those you have karmic contracts with, and this could look like your children, your parents, this could look like your significant other or somebody like a sibling. It could be looking like some sort of an aunt or relative as well as your significant other. So that's where the issues of miscommunication seem to be coming up for the most part in this area of your life this month. Okay, so the principle of Mars and Jupiter conjoining in your sign on the 14th of August is going to be felt very strongly for those of you with placements in Gemini, be it your Sun, your Moon, your Rising, your Venus, your Mars, from around 13 to 19 degrees of Gemini. Second to that, if you have placements in the other mutable signs, your mutable air, if you've got them in Pisces, mutable water, Sagittarius, mutable fire, and mutable Earth Virgo between 13 and 19 degrees. You're also going to feel this conjunction pretty intensely. Intensely good though. Intense doesn't mean bad, it just means powerful. It's noticeable for you. And you have this desire, this hope to strike out and act. Three of Wands, it's about expansion, it's about optimism, and it's about setting your sights on a future goal and kind of actually already knowing it's happening for you. So you've already taken action on this on some level. Like you've already done something about it. You've already got the ball rolling. You've studied, you've applied yourself, you've learned from a teacher, from a mentor, and maybe you've been an apprentice on some level, and now you're starting to really see the results of all the application. And now a lot of you are actually thinking like, could I go out on my own? Could I maybe put my work up in a gallery? Could I sort of showcase my abilities? Could I kind of take this to the next level and make this a bit more serious for myself? And that's why the energy of Mars and Jupiter in your sign this month is really going to give you that oomph and that kind of validity. Like you're becoming valid. Like people will see you as, and you already were, but people are from the external, and that validation will be coming through as something that's kind of like, I don't know, people seeing you for, you're seeing your value, you seeing your own worth, of course, more and more. And that's the kind of like confidence you need that comes through mid-month. Now, that's perfect because it offsets the doubt, the indecision, and the kind of like, there is some naysayer in your world, and I don't see them as being toxic or unhealthy for you. I don't see them as being somebody who's even in any way bad for you necessarily, Gemini. But there is a naysayer in your world that kind of is keeping you in this frequency, or like adding to or mirroring this frequency of doubt. That's all it really truly is. It's only a mirror. If you didn't have this self-doubt on some level already existing within you, then their words, their actions, or probably their lack of words of affirmation, in fact, would mean nothing to you, because you would believe in yourself and you wouldn't need anybody else. Usually relationships are merely a mirror to show something that exists within us already, rather than the relationship creating anything inherently on its own. You know what I mean? If you didn't, you know, when I fully believe in myself at a job, then a petty tyrant micromanager couldn't make me doubt myself. But if I have a level of insecurity that already exists, the littlest thing they say or do is only going to hold that mirror up to me and make me spiral. No, but make me at least self-reflect. Okay, so there is this like nice balance of this kind of counteraction and support when you need it the most. And I think it comes again mid-month around that conjunction. So the Magician in the reversal, so this is Mercury, right? And we know Mercury is reversed, or say retrograde, appearing to move backwards at this point of the month. So basically all of August, you're kind of like second guessing yourself. You're kind of rewriting, rescripting, redrafting. Of course, all those classic Mercury retrograde points of advice: making sure that your documents are signed, sealed, delivered. I mean, there's never been a Mercury retrograde where I sign something or make something official. And I've gone for like visas, I've gone for very, very important legal matters and documents through Mercury retrograde. It was beyond my control. I can't reschedule these things. And all that happens for me is that the date that I sign or do something about it during a Mercury retrograde, when Mercury is back at that degree when it's stationing direct, so it'll move to this point of, let's say, 5 degrees Virgo, Leo, whatever, and then I'll sign. Time will move on, and then Mercury will be moving forward again, and when it's back at 5 degrees Leo, there I have my answer. Or they write to me and say, I need XYZ more. Usually a Mercury retrograde is just a revisiting of something. So you're going to be revisiting something major in the first 2 weeks of August. You're going to be looking back and redrafting something or reimagining something in a big way. This is an important piece, okay? So there's something quite crucial that comes up in the first half of the month where you are thinking, as some of you, and we'll clear it up in the extended, let me clear it up now, because that's important to me, because, you know, the Magician card is quite important and it's in reverse. It's a major arcana in reverse. Let's look at it. It's quite a crucial piece that you pay attention to, and it's great that you do, like, you know, because no, I'm after realizing something. The Magician and the Seven of Swords together in reverse. We gotta talk about that. What is the Magician card speaking to in Gemini's first 2 weeks of August, however? The Chariot upright, exactly. It's important and it's crucial that this is seen or noticed right away, or just worked on by you, because Three of Wands and the Chariot card, there's a massive level up coming for you, a quantum leap, a timeline hop, skip and a jump. The Chariot wouldn't appear in a reading unless you were ready for this natural progression. It's like a level up in a game. You've already reached a level, saved your checkpoint. There's no going back, but there could potentially be this lull in your personal relationships. There's definitely a lull or lethargy or distance, but in your actions and your motivations, until that conjunction from the 14th onwards, there is this kind of like purposeful pause or slow down to recheck, to revisit, to reassign. Something could be coming up around your car, because something could be coming up around a trip, something could be coming up around your content or what you create, or where you kind of are a master or a curator or a advisor, that you need to really slow down and rethink the whole thing. Not scrap it because we've already reached a level in the checkpoint kind of a vibe, but really plan better, plan more carefully, or kind of rethink or reimagine. I'm going to put this Chariot back because it might come through in the extended. Seven of Swords and the Magician card reversed side by side. The Magician, like you, Gemini, like Mercury, it's a trickster energy. In its reversal, it's the shadow of that. So that's deception, right? That's kind of maliciously or manipulating energy, or deceiving intentionally, which obviously there's a time and a place for deception, of course, but if it's with the Seven of Swords in the reversal, I see it as being more unhealthy and kind of in a cheating way, like somebody's trying to get ahead and undermine you and keep you from knowing the full scope of things, which obviously puts you on the back foot, and that's not good. It is in your environment, the Seven of Swords in reversal, so that would strike me as saying that it's not you, it's somebody else that's kind of like perhaps got some, it's like, what's that word, machination or something like that. I'm thinking of like Iago in Othello, if you read that Shakespeare play, like always kind of one step ahead. There are certain people, and I know certain people in my world, my family and different things, that do always seem to be like thinking one step ahead on the chessboard, and like sometimes it's like it's formidable, it's impressive in a way, but it also kind of, I'm just like, oh, spare me, like can we not just like be chill, can we not just be like, let's just live and let live. There's somebody in your world that doesn't really live or let live. They're kind of always trying to think ahead, and strategy is fun, but sometimes it's actually exhausting. So be careful of somebody who kind of tries to trip you up, or, you know, I get the impression that people, there's curiosity is one thing, and I know you're a curious sign, but there's sometimes interrogation, like there's asking questions, and then there's just like, it's not very conversational. When sometimes I feel like I have to tell people like, enough questions, okay, let's just have a like conversation, let it flow. So if you find that somebody's like, and of course this is like maybe a job interview that comes up, and you're just like, geez, I leave that job interview and feeling like they just were kind of trying to trip me up, or like there's somebody, maybe it's not a job interviewer, but there's somebody in your world that's almost trying to lull you into a false sense of security, so you drop your guard. This is extreme, so not for all of you, so that you drop your guard, so that you kind of second guess yourself, and then they get an answer from you that you just kind of like have to give up. It seems like you just have to, you give up. You're like, oh, I just give up. Just tell them what they want to hear, for God's sake. Okay, so that's coming up. And that's like, this is all manifesting from the Two of Swords, remember. And a bit of the Two of Cups, because this is the subconscious, like somebody, you're giving a lot of your power away to somebody else's opinion. And I know you probably love this person dearly and care what they think about you, but if they have any issue within themselves of like a lack of confidence, a lack of strong decision-making skills, they're indecisive basically, or they don't have the same attitude or go-getter attitude or something. They just don't do it the same way as you. They don't have the same strengths as you. They have different strengths. Then they're going to be projecting a lot of their weaknesses onto you. And just know that this seems to be like the deep down issue. And like the interesting thing is, like, your results and your success, the world card, are so tangible, are so obvious. So you're really letting somebody get into your head, okay? So this is all of these external manifestations of people trying to trip you up, of people trying to like make you feel on the back foot or put you on the back foot, like you just feel like that's the result, are all coming from this Two of Swords. Lack of belief in your true inner voice, all that kind of stuff. I think we've touched on everything. The Queen of Cups, there is this call for you to deepen your practice of self-care and self-love this month. This concept gets bandied around here, there and everywhere. I get that. I won't say it in every reading, but when I do see the Queen of Cups in reversal, it would be pretty remiss of me not to touch on that. It's coming from the position of your highest self. It's an important one for you, Gemini. You're feeling distant from others in your world at the moment. Why not start with yourself by getting closer? Now I have a ringing in my left ear. Is it psychosis or is it validation? I don't mind either way. Whatever resonates with you, take it. I'm just going to be rambling on here as I do in these readings. But the Queen of Cups is about perhaps taking the invitation to cultivate self-love within yourself and to really take care of yourself at the moment. Everything else will fall into place. And I look forward to seeing what this reward or gift or bounty and togetherness basically comes at the end of the month for you. If this is all you're sticking around for, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this month's reading, and I can't wait to see what comes up for the the Jupiter-Mars conjunction in Gemini. It's happening in my 9th house of travel, exploration, also of like mind expansion and beliefs and philosophy. I love my 9th house. I love transits to my 9th house. I had my spiritual awakening more or less with eclipses in my 9th house, and it's always a good time for just like broadening horizons. So any other Libra risings out there, that's what's going to be going on for you. But check your birth chart, see what area of your chart is ruled by Gemini or Gemini is on the cusp of the house of. If you don't know what I'm talking about, drop your rising sign below and I'll tell you where this conjunction is taking place for you and what area of life that represents. And if you're sticking around for the extended, I'm going to get to that right now and I'm excited to get into it. Bye, Gemini.